Very interesting subject. Today we wanted to talk why the renters are not prepared for this market.
But first, let's hit it. Hi, this is Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel.
And if this is your first time in our channel and you wanted to know everything about Greenville, Winterville, Pitt County, please subscribe in our channel. Also, hit that ring bell to get notified when we put a new video for you.
Honestly, we get calls, texts, and emails all the time from people looking to upsize, downsize, relocate, shift. Which is one of my favorite words, as I like to say. So if you're looking to buy in the Greenville, Pitt County, Winterville, even in the surrounding areas, Greene County, Edgecombe County, Martin County, we are here for you. We love helping people, and that is what we do all the time. That is our number. We are here, so please don't be shy. Call us.
Therefore, if you are watching this video, basically you are in the two. We are in the two scenario. You are either in the boats that you say the interest rate is going to go high and the price of the house is going to go high, and you're going to decide to buy.
Or you are thinking, maybe I want to postpone and hope those interest rates and those prices might come down. So we hope this video is hopeful if you are in either of those two boats, if you're renting, and that's it.
And what we wanted to basically tell you the step by step, the reason that how the market is for the renting, and hopefully we get to the conclusion. Stay tuned with the channel. We wanted to start our number one item. Therefore, what was the rate of the renting the past couple months or year?
Okay, so rent has gone up just nationwide. Austin, New York, Miami, where we're from, 30 to 40% has gone up as an increase. New York City, 24%. Inflation is also happening. So after the pandemic, we did have some sort of pause in the pandemic, but economy is now definitely moving and moving fast. And this is where we are right now. So rents are increasing.
Therefore, if you're looking at really the reason that what happened to the rentals and why we are not prepared as a renters to buy a house, we can start with the demand, no?
Absolutely.
Therefore, in the pandemic, many of millennial
people want to live independently. They're kind of tired of living with their roommate, and they want to live by themselves or with their families, and what they're starting their new lives, and they want to start as a group and not in a renter.
And on top of that, beside of that, we have a supply chain disruptions and also shortage of the workage and material.
Which brings us to construction delays.
Which, according to the census data in 2022, from 2021 to 2022, we have increase of the household by 1.48 million households.
Okay, but the housing market is super competitive, even here in Greenville. Housing prices have gone up 17% nationwide. So the national average now is $346,900. And this is from the NAR, which is the National Association
of the Realtors.
So we are absolutely in a competitive market all over the country, not just those Californians and New Yorkers, but this is competition or just keeping buyers out of this market.
And according to the NAR, or National Association of Realtors, they estimate that 1 million U.S. renters were priced out because of two reasons: rising prices and competition from all cash buyers.
Absolutely. And
that they raise the rent as a result.
Right. So, I mean, we're talking about buying, right? It's just people falling out. First-time home buyers have actually fallen to an 8-year low. This is, again, means that people are renting longer and than they would otherwise normally do. And this also gives landlords and management compensation to leverage those rents or raise those rents. So it means that since they have people who want to stay in those houses because they can't afford homes, it's empowering landlords to raise your prices as well.
And that was our number two reason. Number two reason was competitive housing market kept out the buyers.
Right. So number three, real quickly, because that's a small one, is that the government did have a rent freeze policy in place during coronavirus. This is pretty much now expired and gone, so it is no longer a data point to talk about why people are staying in place.
Therefore, there were two programs during the COVID that the state of the California extended till June of this year that They call it ERA1 from the U.S. Department of the Treasury. The government basically devoted in one project, ERA1, $21.55 billion for the act of basically consolidating all the people that have issue as a low income to not kick out from their house. And this was actually happened in December 27, 2020. And in March 2021, ERA2, the second one, kicked in with the almost $40 billion to help the low income to stay in the house that they were renting.
Right, but now this is all just going away. But let's say what people are not ready to do. According to the U.S. Census data, rental vacancy is at this lowest quota of 2021. It has fallen to its lowest since 1984. So yes, let me repeat that, 1984, which is a 5.6. Why? There is just no rental vacancy. So you're also competing just for these rentals. Occupation rates are super high. Low inventory there in rental world too. And then competition is extremely fierce to renting homes. So nationwide, the increase is 19.3% for rent. Rental costs rose, but just in just January alone, 0.5. So this is the biggest impact it's been in 20 years. So
therefore, number 4 that we wanted to list, there are affluent tenant increase the rate. Like many of young millennial that they got a job in a high-tech industry, robotics, economy, they instead of renting in New York, San Francisco, then they need to pay a high rent. Now that they can move remotely anywhere almost, they basically come to the places that are cheaper and not that high expensive, and they choose to rent there till they decide to buy a house. Therefore, as a result, the rent also went up.
Yes, just in places that just aren't even California, even here. So also, just to go back, 86% of renters want to relocate from where they are, and yet
in 2021 to 2022,
41.7% wanted to even buy. So out of that number, we had more than half wanted to buy, but they were just priced out of the housing market as well. So even though there are loan programs we can talk about in another video, like USDA, which is at least around here, but since renters are typically looking to have a better salary, they are locked out of ownership, so rent is also increasing, which then kind of you're in the perfect storm of what to do.
Exactly. Therefore, as a result, the house price went up, and also we know that the Federal Reserve, the Fed, is supposed to raise
interest rates again,
and they have a meeting in the May that this gonna again maybe raise another time the interest rate.
And interest rates are already, they're not at crazy highs, but they are still higher than they were. 36.4% of tenants wanted to get a new apartment. 21.9% wanted to rent a single family home, but it's just relocating too far. And then 39.3% want to stay where they are. So we do have all of these statistics about renters. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, basically, my wife gave you all the statistics about the renters that most of the people that wanted to say where they are. But the problem is many people that they were renting, now they face that their basically landlord they wanted to increase because they have pre-approved renters that they wanted to kick even the rent higher. Therefore, they're facing these challenges. That the best way probably is if you wanted to basically stay the same place, put your lease duration to, 2 years to basically stay, and if you can, to basically lock your rate.
Right, otherwise it's time to buy a house, even though rising mortgage interest rates are designed to cool demand. So it means that demand to get into a home is designed to be cooler because of those interest rates. However, we see the opposite is happening right now. Prices are appreciating, inflation is still happening, and people are actually jumping into houses because they're afraid that those interest rates are going to go up even more. So the Fed is trying to get inflation under control, but in the meantime, what do people do when they're trying to lock in a house and lock in affordability? So really getting into a house means you're locking in your rate forever, so they will not increase your rent. Because they can't, it's a mortgage.
And as a result,
As long as it's
the
fixed.
conflict in Russia and Ukraine and
that's true.
volatility of the stock market also is another flame that comes to this fire and burn more. And then there are lots of unpredicted factors that exactly not everybody know, and we don't have a crystal ball. But the point is, yes.
But we also want to add that also just as another major factor, since 2008, we have had underbuilt America for the past 10 years or 12 years or whatever long it is. So we have had interest rates that have gone increasing to 1.76 million, which is the highest for growing, but we still have low inventory, and that is also absolutely affecting this housing market.
Therefore, do you have anything to share, or you wanted
One
to?
more thing, that's about baby boomers. Baby boomers are typically staying in their homes instead of downsizing because they locked in a lower interest rate. Nobody's moving now, which then means that those homes that people need aren't necessarily there. So another reason because interest rates were low, people locked in, refied, staying in their houses longer, which means now if you're looking for a house, they just don't exist.
Therefore, this was basically the factor that helps the price go down is going up the inventory. Of course, according to the census data, also we built 1.769 millions till February 2022, which is better than what we had since 2006. But if you look at the past 4 decades, that we are 5 million units behind that where it's supposed to be, still we don't have inventory, as my wife said.
And I want to mention also, people talk about inflation and interest rates and appreciation and all of these factors as a reason people put in offers. But at the end of the day, you should honestly have talked to your mortgage broker. You know how much you're going to pay monthly, and if you can afford that rate comfortably, then it is time to buy. Forget appreciation, forget inflation, forget wondering if the prices are going up or down. What can you afford? If that number is lower than what you're paying in rent, it is time to buy a house, even if everything else is not perfect. So let's talk about our conclusions.
Therefore, we come to the conclusion,
Yes.
and we wanted to give you these couple factors that we think
to go with what
it helps you for making decision.
Also, interest rates are still at historical lows, not as low as they were in the 2s, because that's there. But just remember, as a data point, interest rates were 18.4% in 1981. So interest rates were super high at some point. They're going to increase those interest rates to get inflation under control. So we do need to talk about that. Also, you want to improve your living situation. So again, if you're looking at a house and your payment and looking to, in the long term, all houses eventually appreciate anyway, even if you're worried about short-term volatility, eventually everything equals out and then starts appreciating no matter what about the short-term volatility. It is.
Therefore, if your financials allow you to do that and you can get a loan, and your family needs, because everything is about your family needs, what you feel.
Absolutely.
And then you can
we're just quickly through, we've had to buy a new car. It's not the perfect time to buy a car. There's so many factors about cars, but we ended up having to get one because our family, it's just time. Like, it's time for our family. So this is a factor that overrides everything else we're saying. What is it that you absolutely need?
And also, as my wife says, as a third things in conclusion, never the time is perfect.
This is true.
There is always something, and depends on your family need. And also, imagine if you wait, what are you gonna put? You're gonna put more in the rent, and
more
also
to the landlord's pocket.
More to the landlord pocket. At the same time, you need more time to save more down payment for the house that you wanted to buy.
Right. So we hope this video was helpful for you who are in one of those 2 boats that we talked about looking to buy and when to buy and all of this fun stuff. And if you found this video useful, subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and give us a
And also,
thumbs up.
don't forget, we have your back. Call us, and we are here for you to help you.
Absolutely.
And get you what you want for you and your dear family. Have a wonderful day, and see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.